Good morning and welcome. Thursday's early morning intuitive guidance, and I'm back on time, and now everybody will be showing up late thinking that I'm going to be later than usual. Welcome, welcome. I'm Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum here with some words of wisdom to start your day, some things to think about, and we have another card from the new deck that I'm using by Colette Baron Reed, which is an animal spirit deck. Good morning, Nancy. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. I wasn't sure anybody would find me earlier since I was late yesterday, but look at you go. So let's start with some breath and some tapping. Just wherever. Good morning, Abigail. We're glad you are here. Wherever feels right to you. For me, this feels like the spot. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Good morning, Beth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Just breathing, opening up to receiving. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Yes. And you can keep tapping and keep deep breathing if that feels good and right for you. So welcome, 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 everybody. Glad you are here. We have an interesting card today, and I got to grab some hand lotion here. Dry. We've got a card that, good morning, Joni L. Welcome, welcome. We've got a card that I want to preface with a couple of other parts in the book because I think it lays some groundwork for hearing this particular card in a more open way. So, how did everybody's Wednesday go? Did you have a good day yesterday? By the end of the day, I was tired. That was more things in one day than I had had since I was sick. So I got to build up some stamina here. But had a wonderful gathering, a listening session at our Savior's Lutheran Church. We had over 40 people offering their opinions on what they'd like to see done with church property. So that was really awesome. And in fact, I think one of the reasons it was such a rousing crowd was the confirmation kids participated, and they had some great ideas. Youth, right? Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous little humans. So they offered their opinions, and we might even end up with a bug room. Yeah, someone wanted a bug room. Probably a budding entomologist. We shall see. So, before I get to our card from today, let's start with just showing you the cover of the deck, because I just think that is such a cool... The artist on these cards was just phenomenal. Like today's card has sacred geometry behind the image of the animal, and it's just stunning. Yesterday was a good day. Amen and hallelujah. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. So, I want to preface today's card with a couple of parts, but I realized that I marked my pages with some little cards that I got. I can and I will. I can and I will. I wish I could get this flip screen thing figured out, but whatever. Hopefully you can read backwards. So, again, it's the Spirit Animal Pocket Oracle deck by Colette Baron Reed, and the first thing I want to read is a paragraph that's talking about what's really going on in our world, and I think this is a great way for all of us to view things. Even when on the surface, on the 3D level, it looks like a hot mess, keep this in mind. Keep this in mind. So here we go. Another breath in. Let it go. The veils between the material world and the mystical are thinning, and many of us are hearkening to the call to renew the sacred connection between spirit and matter. We have come to have a glimpse of the unity that connects all that is. Is this not a lovely way to think about what's going on right now? Even though on the surface it looks one way, the deeper observation is this. And so we are choosing a direct and intimate dialogue with spirit for the highest good, turning to ancient mystical traditions, not just out of a desire to reconnect for something larger than ourselves, but for practical advice too. This is a very practical kind of a thing. Think about how it resonates for you when we read a card that that connects. So these are some guidelines in terms of using the card. And so yeah, I'm just going to read them. But there's one part that's kind of, she calls it a gentle warning, and I think that's a great way to look at it. Hello, Barb. Glad you were here. Welcome. Here's some guidelines for how to use these cards. Always ask your question with an open-ended potential for the cards to begin a conversation with you. Never ask a question that encourages a yes-no answer. The universe is much chattier than that. Love that. I thought that was good. The cards will always mirror your dominant energy and show you where you are, sometimes snapping you out of denial in a much needed moment of clarity. I think today's card is one of those. Snap us out of denial. Let's see. They are direct dial to the divine, and you can be assured of the instant insight they provide. How rare is it these days that when someone pulls a card or reads a card or whatever, I mean, years ago when we used to do this stuff, sometimes people would go, I'm not seeing it. It doesn't fit for me. It's not chiming, blah, blah, blah. Rarely do you hear that now. Rarely is there someone who doesn't already have elevated themselves enough that they can pick out how the particular card is resonating for them. So, I love that. Here's the gentle warning. Do not try to find certainty in a future that has not transpired yet, or you rob yourself of your own power to create your world. Mic drop. We are co-creating with the divine. We're co-creating with God, spirit, universe, however you look at it. We are co-creating our reality. Don't give away your power to co-create with the divine your particular reality. Do not try to find certainty in a future that has not transpired yet, or you rob yourself of your own power to create your world. Ask only what you need to know to stay in alignment with your highest intentions and how to understand your circumstances with greater clarity. Your future is always only a potential or probability based on your vantage point and frequency at the time of the reading. So you create this. Good morning, Catherine. Glad you are here. Welcome, welcome. So those are my little caveats to keep in mind as we move into today's card. And again, it's a beautiful card with sacred geometry behind it. It is Wasp Spirit. Sometimes life stings. Wasp Spirit. Sometimes life stings. And I can't tell. I'm looking, but I can't tell if the wasp actually has high heels on or if that's feathers and beads hanging off the back legs or what exactly that is. But I just thought it was interesting. So Wasp Spirit. Sometimes life stings. Here are the words. And the other thing I wanted to say about this, because I went back and I looked, there's always an oracle message and a protection message. And the oracle message is when the card comes right side up, which it did today, and the protection message is when it comes upside down. But I like reading that message anyway, because sometimes it'll chime for a particular person. So, Wasp Spirit, sometimes life stings. The oracle message. Not all that spirit creates in nature is easy to love. But when we look through the eyes of Wasp Spirit, we recognize that even though sometimes life stings, there is a purpose for pain, just as there is a purpose for wasps in the natural world. If you think about pain that you experience, like physically, good morning, Angie, glad you're here, welcome. It's designed to tell you something, right? If you put your hand on a burner, you want the pain to be there to tell you to move your hand so you don't get a further injury, right? So, same with this. Wasps keep insect populations down, supporting the growth of plants. So too the sting of life may hurt, and you may feel deeply disappointed or even resentful that wasp spirit has shown up. But you will soon come to see that spirit has something wonderful in store for you. You may well come to realize that being stung led to something far better than you had envisioned for yourself. That's kind of the idea that sometimes the worst things that happen to us are the best things that happen to us. Some of our worst, most painful times in life yield fabulous insights, useful information, get us re-railed on our path. You may come to realize that being stung led to something far better than you had envisioned for yourself. Perhaps behind the scenes, wasp spirit was conspiring with spirit to ensure that you could grow something of value to you. You could grow something of value to you. Spirit has a plan, and wasp spirit plays a part. Have you ever looked back and been glad your prayers weren't answered because the path you took led to something far better? Or that what you thought you wanted didn't work out? You got fired from the job, you got downsized, your marriage ended, a friendship broke up, whatever it was. You made the down payment, but you didn't get the house, whatever it was. That you were glad those prayers weren't answered because the path you took led to something far better. Wasp spirit is a reminder to reflect on those times, for today's sting may hurt, but something better awaits you. This or something better. This or something better. If you've never listened to that song, I'm sure it's probably, you can Google it and find it. This or something better. So here's the protection message in case the card came upside down. First I need a drink. Hang on. Hold, please. Okay, protection message. Are you holding on to anger, jealousy, or resentment because you got stung? How far back do you go to tell the stories of woe is me? Are you going back 10, 15, 20 years and trotting out same old tired stories? Could you have just stung yourself by comparing yourself to others? There will always be someone else who is more successful, happier, thinner, richer, etc. Jealousy is the false belief that you can't have what you want, or someone else can take away something that was supposed to be yours. Good morning, Mel. Glad you're here. And I saw a bigger message go through, but I can't read it right now, so I will answer or comment when I go back and fill this out. Believing someone can take away something that's yours. Do we see any examples of that right now? Yeah. I remember the story in Byron Katie's book, Loving What Is, about coming home from a tour and someone had wiped out everything in her house. They stole everything. Oh, okay, looks like something happened, Catherine. I'll go back and read it when I get a chance. Angels and miracles. Absolutely. Amen and hallelujah. Absolutely. Absolutely. She came home. Her entire house had been vandalized. There was nothing left. And she felt joy. She felt joy because she believed that Spirit was telling her she did not need that stuff anymore. And that this made space in her life for the stuff that was supposed to come to her. I remember a similar event where I came home after a long, I believe I was teaching Psych K at the time, and I may have been out of state. And usually when I taught, it was a 3-day deal. So came home, was tired, etc. Walked in the back door of the house with my luggage, blah, blah, blah. And before I even turned the light switch on, I heard, and I'm like, what the hell is that? Flipped the light on, looked down the stairwell that led to the basement, and all I could see was the kitty's butt sticking up at me, drinking out of the stairwell. We'd had a flood. The sump pump had failed, and there was several inches of water in my entire basement. Unfortunately, most of my son's stuff was down there. He was gone at the time. So, and thank God I had friends who were willing to come and help me tear out all this stuff that was, I mean, there was carpet, it was just, but clean the slate, right? Freed him up, freed me up of stuff that maybe wasn't necessary anymore. Yeah, those events that happen. So let's see. Ooh, some of my favorite words here. You ready? Let it go. Let it go and release all those feelings that are making the sting hurt long after the stinger has been removed. What are your stories of woe that you keep trotting out over and over and over again? I know I do it. I know I do it. Wasp spirit has woken you up, and now you are called to trust that disappointment can lead you to a different and better path. Align with spirit now and trust that this too shall pass, and is already doing so, for the pain subsides when you stop telling the story of how much it hurt. So let's take a moment. If you can, I'd like you to close your eyes. Not if you're driving. Just close your eyes. Take some nice deep belly breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And I want you to bring to mind the things in your life right now that sting. The things that aren't going particularly well. The things where you feel like you're not getting what you need. Yes, Abigail, let it go. Breathe in, breathe out. And now on the exhale, I want you to imagine letting those things go. Letting those stories go, letting the focus on those things that aren't working go. Everything goes on the breath. Inhale, hold, exhale, let it all go. Gone on the breath, gone on the breath. And now turn your attention to what you do want. And I want you to turn your attention in a specific way. Rather than the, I don't have this and I really want this, coming from a place of lack. Breathe into, I already have this. It's coming my way. In divine right timing and divine right order, I am so happy and grateful now that I have. And I remember the story of the actor Jim Carrey parking his car, his crappy car, his POS, and walking around a beautiful neighborhood in California and saying, I already have this. It's already mine. It's just coming my way in divine right timing, divine right order, and reveling in it, reveling in it. When I was working for my Mary Kay car, I drove my car at the time as if it were the Mary Kay car. I felt it, I smelled it, you know that new car smell, right? Just making it as if it was already true, already the case, had already happened. Try that, try that. Right now the one I'm doing is in the morning before I get out of bed. I got a little sticky note right there that says, imagine your ideal life. Imagine how you want it to be. And again, it's imagining it as if it's already happened. So I see myself walking around my pocket neighborhood. I see myself waving to my neighbors on their porch. I see myself sitting on my porch swing with my cup of cacao, swinging in the morning, hearing the birds. Make it as juicy and real and rich as you can. You're laying the groundwork. It's already manifesting. It's already manifesting. And too many of us get hung up in that how question. How is this ever going to happen? How? No. How is for the universe to figure out. Why is for us to figure out. So part of my imagining is when I'm sitting on my porch swing, looking at my neighbors, hearing the birds in my new little 1,000-foot square house in my pocket neighborhood with the gardens in the center and all the good stuff. I focus on that it's already happened, it's a done deal, the how was taken care of, whatever I needed came to me in divine right timing, divine right order, whether it was money, whether it was labor, whether it was support, whether it was other people with vision, whatever it was, it came to me, and here's the result, and I am living that result. Try it. Try it for 30 days. Let's see what happens. If you want to put in the feed what it is that you're going to be living into for the next 30 days, do that. We'll help you live into it as well. Why not get group energy working for you, right? So that is our card for today. Wasp spirit. Sometimes life stings, but it's a call to action. It's a message. It's something we need to listen to, and it opens up doors for this or something better. See you again tomorrow. Remember, you are capable of far more than you think you are. Bye-bye.